I want to talk more about your dad because your dad came to the U.S., but I want to go back first. And your mom, what's your mom's name?
Ida.
Ida.
Her name was Ida Dawson.
Mm.
The guy I started playing rugby with in the open age,
Mm-hmm.
Harold Dawson,
Mm-hmm.
was her brother.
Oh, okay.
Okay, he was my uncle. So her name was Ida Dawson. They had, her mother's name was Polly. And they had 3 children. There was Ida, who was the oldest, Enid was the middle, and Harold was the youngest of the 3 of them.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember Nan's mom? Do you remember Nan's mom?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, Polly was, actually she was called Polly Schofield
Okay.
because her husband had got killed in Africa. Now, I don't know whether it was part of the war or whether it was just before the war, but he was a soldier. He was in the army,
Which war would that have been?
the Second World War.
Okay, so right before you were born, Nan's mom died. Nan's father died.
Yes.
And his name was?
I can't remember his name.
Do you remember where they're from?
Yeah, they were from Oldham,
Oh, so they're both from Oldham.
and they lived on the same street as we lived on. In fact, Enid, the middle one, was married to a friend of my dad's called Huey Charters, who came up from Wolverhampton with my dad.
Mm.
So there were 3 of them. Enid and Huey lived on the street. Enid's mother, my mom's mother, Polly, she remarried a guy called Jim Schofield. So she was Mrs. Schofield then. But she lived on the same street as her 2 daughters and their families. Harold was a fly-by-night. He was a good guy, but he was the reason I came over to the States, because he came first.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's Nan's uncle, Harold.
No.
Your mom's? Your mom's?
Yeah, my mom's brother,
Harold came first.
Harold.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, he was a bit of a rogue.
Yeah.
He had a hare lip.
Okay.
They had 9 children.
Harold and his wife?
Mildred. Mildred was his wife. And it turned out, we didn't know it at the time. I was courting my first wife, Margaret,
Mm-hmm.
who was the mother of the 5 children. But we went to visit them in their house. And we're sitting there talking, and Mildred got up and she went in the kitchen to make some refreshments. And all of a sudden, she comes in the front room screaming, "You're my cousin! You're my cousin!" And it turned out that my wife, Margaret, was Mildred's cousin.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, Mildred was my uncle's wife.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big surprise and you know, allowed us to have more of a relationship with him because she'd found a cousin. And it was a lot of fun, that. And Harold he went to playing one game in a town called Huddersfield up in Yorkshire. And he didn't come home till the following day.
Mm.
And his wife noticed, said, "Where have you been till now?" And they said, "We were tied up full time, so we had to play overtime." This is the day after,
Mm-hmm.
as if they'd played like all night.
All night, yeah.
And she never thought anything more about it. She just, that was it. He played overtime.
Yeah.
Some comical things.
Do you remember Arthur's parents?
Hmm?
Do you remember Arthur's parents?
Arthur's parents.
Yes.
I remember his mother, and she was called Amy Lyons, but her maiden name was Dodd, D-O-D-D.
Mm.
And the Dodds were from Ireland,
Okay.
so that's where the Irish
Mm-hmm.
part of our family came from.
Mm.
And she lived in Wolverhampton. She never came up to Oldham, but we used to go down to Wolverhampton for like a weekend or
Yeah.
whatever. She had a small grocer's shop,
Mm.
and it was just a regular row house.
Mm-hmm.
2 up, 2 down. 2 bedrooms upstairs and 2 living rooms downstairs. But the front room, she changed into a shop.
Mm-hmm.
And it had all shelves up and everything, and all groceries in it, and
Mm-hmm.
fresh fruit, potatoes, onions, whatever.
Mm.
And all the local people used to come there rather than have to go into town.
Sure.
And so she did quite well. And we used to go down and have weekends there and sleep in the bedroom upstairs, all 3 lads in together, and the parents, all the adults used to sleep anywhere they could find, but they'd go get beer from the pub
Mm-hmm.
in jugs
Yeah.
and bring it in,
Yeah.
and they'd have a party in the back room.
They call those growlers now.
Mm.
Call those growlers.
Growlers,
You
yes,
can feel-
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but they were a big white jug,
Uh-huh.
and it was like, if anybody found a bigger jug on the market,
Mm-hmm.
they'd buy it, and they'd say, "Look at the size of my jug," you know. And the bigger jug you got, the more beer you could buy,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and the less trips you had to take to the outdoor license.
Do you remember Arthur's dad?
No, his name was John, but again, he died, and I can't remember. I think he died in the war. There's something that says he was in the paratroopers,
Okay.
and he got killed in France
In World War II?
in World War II.
So he would have been older.
Hmm.
So he would have been older.
Yeah.
So did John have Arthur at a young age? Because if Arthur would have been an adult working, when was do you
No,
remember when
it
Arthur
was
born?
about like a regular type, you know, like your age to you and your kids.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit less of age because you'd be a veteran.
Do you remember when Arthur was born? What year? Or how old he at least he was when he had you?
I'm going to say he was born Arthur was born in 1912.
Okay. So if the war started in
No,
35,
no, it
yeah.
wasn't. My mom was born in 1912, Ida Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was born in 1908.
Okay.
So when the war started, he'd be probably 20 some.
Your dad would have.
Yeah.
But that would have made his dad probably in his 50s.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So your grandfathers, you actually never really met them in real life. You only ever saw photographs.
No. I saw photographs, but that was it.
What do you... So your dad and your mom's dad both died at a very young age for you, probably around the time of the war, right? So before you were born.
I think you got that a bit mixed up.
Okay.
My dad,
Mm-hmm.
no, my dad's dad
Yes.
and my mom's dad
Mm-hmm.
both died during the war, and I never even saw them.
Okay.
There's nothing I can tell you about them. They were both married to very strong women. Both my grandmas were, I would say, forceful women.
Yeah.
And the one, Polly, that married a second husband, his name was Jim Schofield. She was on top of him.
Yeah.